Dr. Hayes talking about what? Dr. Hayes would have lost more than his job if he talked about men's issues and suicide.
You know, I was thinking about talking about some of this stuff publicly, and I was like, you know, but I'm not ready to yet because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose my job, you know, at Harvard, an academic position. And he was like, oh, no. If you talk about this, you're not going to just lose your academic position. You're going to lose all of your positions. And so I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
I talk a decent amount about men's issues, and it's so annoying to always get dismissed with how you are only bringing up the counter problems women have in society. Yeah, the problem is that MRA is a reactionary movement, okay? Men's issues can be very perfectly encaptured under class issues, okay? There is a increasing suicide rate amongst men. Like, it's a huge fucking problem. A lot of that can directly relate back to the issues that they face under their class position and the lack of coverage from that point of view, because most Western societies do not look at a single point of view from a class position. If you are ever in a bind because of your class position, then it doesn't matter. Like, who gives a shit? Fuck you. Like, we are trained to look at everything specifically from an identity point of view. And considering the fact that historically, as a consequence of gender patriarchy, men, specifically white men, have been the dominant class throughout most of fucking history in Western societies, it's just like whenever you bring it up from a white male point of view, everyone's gonna fucking laugh at you for understandable fucking reasons. Yep, just kill yourself if you're white, dude. That's what I said. Is that what I said? Did you hear me say that? No. But there were working class men back then. I understand. There always will be. We're talking about the dominant group. That doesn't mean that that white people aren't oppressed. I always talk about this literally all the goddamn time. It comes down to this: let men and women make choices, even if they're different and large. This equity stuff should stop. There's no benefit of looking at people by the group identities. They're making decisions that should be based on individual circumstances. Men and women are different in temperament. It's coming full cycle. You're going to see men and women turn on each other, and races too. Okay, brother. So woke identity politics, leftists are out of control, and Reddit does a great job promoting all their false narratives on a daily basis. This is why people like Jordan Peterson are so popular. Someone who actually acknowledges men's issues is a rare but brilliant sight. Yeah, dude. Jordan Peterson does exactly what all of these fucking weirdos who hate female streamers and call them ethos do, but for young, rudderless ship men, okay? I don't know how else to describe it. Jordan Peterson is the white male Deepak Chopra for all of these young kids, all of these young men that do not have guidance in their lives, okay? That's it. He finds and cultivates a community of simps from a lot of incels and kids that feel like no one is speaking for the alienation that they feel right now. And that is a very real alienation that you feel. But all that he does is basically reconfirm your preconceived biases. And you like it because he tells you that it's not your fucking fault. It's society's fault. It's society's fault that you feel the way that you do. And there is truth to that, but not in the way that Jordan Peterson tells you. He just does like the inverse of whatever you consider to be SJW politics. He just does the inverse of that, okay? I agree with you, but depression and suicide rates for men is more than just a class problem. Toxic masculinity and patriarchy oppresses men in different ways than it oppresses women, and it should definitely be discussed, but not only when women are trying to discuss their own oppression. There are public figures who do talk about these things in very constructive ways, but MRAs are not interested in that. Yes, MRAs are only interested in bringing up fucking male problems in the same way that like fucking all lives matter folks are never there for all lives, but only bring up all lives matter when people are talking about Black Lives Matter, because they are reactionary. It's a reaction to progress. It's an inability to change and a reaction to the progress. That's why it's always used as a counter whenever people are talking about fucking feminism. So yeah, you end up literally devaluing your own movement. It doesn't really matter outside of that anyway. It doesn't matter that like these dumbasses are fucking devaluing the men that experience a fuckload of problems in today's society. But wow, incel politics are literally identity politics. Hilarious irony. Yes, incels are also looking for structural change. A lot of men on the internet and a lot of boys on the internet do not have proper guidance, and they also look to structural analysis to feel comfort that it's not actually their fault, that it's not their personal problems or individual setbacks that they could potentially work through in a healthy manner and change their lives for the better. It's actually structural issues like women, having more of a place in the workforce, and, third wave feminism and sexual liberation for women, and women having the right to choose their sexual partners, and then therefore leading to whatever the fuck these dumbasses believe, like female hypergamy. You know what I mean? Like all of that is still the very same structural analysis, is a similar kind of structural analysis that they criticize when it comes to other marginalized communities. The difference is when black people are talking about systemic racism, they're correct. It is well documented. It is calculated. It is codified. But when the dominant class is talking about like the structural problems with women having more liberty and being able to choose their sexual partners, it is not a fucking legitimate concern. What guidance if you're short, ugly? No guidance will help. Women find you unattractive? Yeah, guidance will help. LMAO. No, brother, you just want to feel sad. I'm sorry. It's a way to feel better about yourself. That's it. Like, you just want to feel sad. And it's a way to feel better about yourself. So you keep seeking that negative shit because it makes you feel good. And I can relate to that because I love reading negative comments about myself. Okay? It's a coping mechanism that you engage in. I do it too. I love reading fucking all the worst shit that people say about me. I love it. It's just super toxic. It's super terrible. But I fucking love that shit. Wait, someone explain this? How would this affect his job? My guess is he would use facts because truth is all that matters. Men have the highest suicide rate around the world. All the supporting group for men is non-existent. Like, the reason why supporting group for men is non-existent isn't literally fucking women being like, you can't have a support group for yourself. It's because of toxic masculinity. It's because of gender patriarchy hurting other fucking men. It's this ridiculous approach to mental health that men have. Women get raped and it's a tragedy, but the reality is men are raped more than women statistically. No one talks about it. Like, again, it's because as a boy, you're supposed to suck it the fuck up. You're a man. You're supposed to, when you're hurt, you're not supposed to admit it. That's where this fucking comes from. Okay. Also, I don't think the statistic is true. Maybe he's talking about like prison. But then when you counter that with like, yeah, we should have mental health therapy for men and men should have support groups and blah, blah, blah. Then people turn around and go, oh, well, they're pussies. Like, they should be able to deal with it on their own. Like, so you're reinforcing the same fucking systems that literally put you in this position to begin with. It fucks you over, my guy. Anyway, lots of politics on LSF, which is not necessarily bad. I'm surprised. But do you think there's a reasonable expectation that this kind of toxic thinking will go away? It seems so ingrained in our society. No, it's not going to go away. And the reason why it's not going to go away is because it's very good deflection. It's a very good distraction from the actual methods of dealing with a problem at hand. And it's like the liberal side of this is campaigns that people engage in where they like want to fucking cancel someone immediately without like applying additional fucking context. Liberals do it in that way where they can't deal with fucking structural racism because it's incredibly difficult to do. They are rightfully angry about unaddressed grievances. So because people in positions of power can't be taken down, they turn around and they attack whatever the fuck they can with righteous anger, maybe in a lot of instances misdirected, but still righteous anger that in some circumstances is literally disproportionate because they recognize that maybe they can have a little bit of a fucking moment of victory, some solace that they are able to change something in society. When these are not real, you're not actually contributing any sort of like meaningful material change. You're just making yourself feel better. Okay. And the same shit goes for, you know, the other side of the equation. If it's misdirected and disproportionate, it's not righteous. No, the motivating principle is understandable. That's what I'm saying. When do you ever debate people you criticize like JP or Ben? Because Jordan Peterson is a vegetable. I don't know if he still is. And Ben Shapiro would never debate me. And neither would Steven Crowder. I would love to debate all of them. One last thing I'm going to say about this is this previous subject. Sorry. True masculine or like whatever positive quality that you want to attribute to men and women as well, vice versa, comes from confidence. Okay. Inner peace that you have found within yourself because you know what your limitations are. You know what your goals are. You can set goals for yourself and you can achieve them. You believe in yourself. You have inner peace. Okay. It's very difficult to accomplish. It's easier said than done, 100%. But when you have true confidence, for example, as I've mentioned in role play, I will revert this back to role play like I do with everything else. You can take L's with ease because it doesn't fucking matter because you know that you are bigger than that. It doesn't say anything about you. That's how this fucking works. So a lot of the shit that other guys who are weak will project upon other men is what we talk about when we say toxic masculinity, harming men because they are basically locking other men into this weird trap. You are literally locking yourself and others into this like weird area where you don't want to self-improve. I can think of something else Hasan couldn't take very well. Yeah, if it pertains to something that I truly believe in with my entire fucking heart and chest, yeah, I'm not gonna take the L, Sweaty, because you think that I was doing a toxicity or some shit. I take plenty of fucking L's and I apologize when I overstep all the goddamn time. You've been here long enough to know that.
すいません。さっきは1000円倒れた。マジで? No problem. See you.